since he made that final, and consequently he made the match play after that. Is it time for J.Lewis to be back?
100.
Well, these two players find themselves in the bottom half of the draw, and well, I don't think either of them would be human if they weren't counting their chickens right now. This is a really good opportunity with Peter Wright out of the way. Of course, there are still
100.
many capable players in that bottom half of the draw, but you know, you've got Kim Viljanen against Chris Dobie
96.
meeting tomorrow. The winner of this to face Kim Huybrechts, Jelle Klaassen or Rob Cross to face Michael Smith, and Sulivic or Huybrechts, Ronnie Huybrechts that is, to face Mervyn King. It is just opening up very nicely in this bottom half of the draw.
120.
And it's a real opportunity for any of the players surviving in that bottom half to now look ahead and make a real plot towards potential glory tomorrow.
105.
Long way to go. Lots of darts to be played between now and Sunday evening when we have the final itself, but a real opportunity presenting itself to the players in that section, you have to say.
Absolutely right.
177.
Got a sneaky feeling about this one, Rob. It could get pretty tasty.
140.
The reason I say that is because Joe Cullen's been playing well for a while, and J.Lewis is very streaky. When he gets a run on, he's pretty hard to stop. That's double 12.
92. Joe, you require 60.
Well, it was a very good performance by J.Lewis yesterday against Van den Berg. It's not an easy first round hurdle to overcome as Cullen looks at tops here to
40.
take the opener, but Lewis has
Joe, you
another
require
opportunity
12.
to break throw here.
As you can see, the amount of panic in Joe Cullen for missing that double.
Game short in the first
Yeah,
leg.
Lewis does break for the opener.
Slight sarcasm on my part there,
Second leg,
because
Jamie to throw first.
Joe
Game
Cullen,
on.
as motivated as he is, doesn't show emotion to his opponent unless it's absolutely necessary. I am, of course, referring to his game with Corey Cadby at the Worlds, which
60.
is one of the greatest games of darts that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was feisty. A little bit of needle, well, say a little bit of needle. There was a lot of needle on stage that night. Joe Cullen here looking at a maximum and finding it. First of the match.
You and I had a conversation with Dan Dawson about J.Lewis earlier today,
140.
and I've been watching J.Lewis play for a long time, and after watching his game last night with Dimitri Van den Berg, I
81.
just feel that the pronounced elbow drop in the throw is not as bad as it used to be. So you can see that elbow does drop a little bit, but in previous years it used to drop inches. Maybe that's something he's
58.
worked on, to just be a bit more consistent. And if he plays like he did last night, he's going to worry people.
100.
Joe Cullen could worry a few people this weekend if he carries on like this. 2 180s in this second leg as he looks to get back on terms.
$96. Joe, you require 60.
Well, Joe had 60 in the last leg. Can he polish it off this time?
Game short
Yes,
in
he
the
can.
second leg. Joe Cullen.
George Noble knew before us, and he informed us thusly.
Select Joe to throw first. Game on.
2 legs, 2 breaks. That's happened a few times today.
Yeah, there's been a lot of break. I mean, yesterday,
57.
I looked at the stats. It was very dominant in terms of going with the throw, but today we've had a lot of breaks of throw, and beautifully illustrated by that match we've just seen with Peter Wright. 1 break apiece for 2-2, 2 breaks apiece for 3-3.
58.
And then another break for Viljanen to get himself 5-3 up, and then Wright breaking back once more to get back to 5-5. It really was that sort of encounter.
190.
3 180s already in this match for Joe Cullen.
I was speaking to Chris Dobie yesterday about Joe Cullen,
140.
and he told me a little nugget about Joe and his practice regime. It's so simple. All he does is practice on
60.
20s,
Nothing else.
just scoring. He feels that if he practices that,
The rest will take care of
the
itself.
rest will just take care of itself. And that is the most simple practice regime you will ever hear. That's one of the reasons why he's got 3 180s so far.
Yeah.
97.
Obviously, anyone starting out in darts needs to try hitting a few doubles as well, but when you're established as Joe is, you can get away with that.
On the flip side, Simon Whitlock, all he does is practice doubles. He thinks that if he does that, his scoring will again follow. Or whatever you find out about yourself, just play to your strengths.
96. Joe, you require 146.
Joe Cullen's had a lot of strengths in the last 18 months.
99.
So for another break,
110.
Jamie
Yeah.
Lewis, the very proud Welshman, as you can see by the colours on his shirt and his flights, 110. That is a peach of a first dart.
Double 16.
78. Joe, you require 47.
15 for double 16. Over the top of that one for double 8. That's a good dart, you know.
He used that second dart really well, didn't he?
Game on.
And, well, we do have our first holder throw, and Cullen leads by 2 legs to 1.
Well, Dan Dawson, our fellow commentator and pundit, had a little bit of a conversation with Jamie Lewis on Twitter, didn't he? About a certain passport photograph that Jamie Lewis is not ashamed to share
60.
with the world. He looked a bit like Gabriella Sabatini from 1991.
It does, I have to say, I've seen the evidence.
58.
I bet he's looking forward to when his passport runs out so he can get a new one. Both
57.
of these guys are fairly young. Been around a while, though. Both
Yeah.
are fathers.
Lewis 25, Cullen 27. Cullen celebrates his birthday next month, I think.
21 again.
21 again.
58.
Yeah, just over 2 months have passed since Cullen secured his first ranking title, winning Players' Championship 8 in Barnsley with that
99.
6-5 win over Darrell Gurney in the final. Having made 3 previous ranking finals, he finally got over the line.
Well, I know that his partner's very proud of him.
And Jamie Lewis, very proud of his darts there as well. 180 gets him down to 147.
99. Jamie, you require 147.
Jamie Lewis is threatening here to get level. He's in a great position. He didn't want that, though. He requires a 7 on the end, but he didn't want to hit the single 7.
47.
That squares it up at a ton, and there's Jamie Lewis's other half, Kylie, and Paul Rowley, who was eliminated yesterday.
44. Jamie, you require 100.
It's a tasty finish, 1-4-2. There's a few ways of getting that, but Jamie Lewis definitely doesn't want to give Joe Cullen a shot at it.
Yeah, Joe's just lost his way in this leg. 3 sub-100 scores have just opened things up here for Lewis. That has found its way through. So he's looking at double 10. And he takes out double 10, and we are level once again at 2 apiece, and Kylie is all smiles.
Game on.
As well she might be.
96.
Just a bit of a hush around the Multiversum Arena here after that epic encounter featuring Peter Wright and Kim Villianum.
I think this place is in a state of shock, really.
Gearing itself up for Mensur Suljovic, the sole
60.
surviving Austrian now. Number 3 seed is last on stage tonight against Ronnie Huybrechts. Up next we've got Jelle Klaassen against Rob Cross. That should be an absolute belter as well.
100.
Still 1 or 2 question marks maybe about Jelle's wrist injury that he had surgery on to correct.
I think so, because he's come back very, very quickly. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on.
120.
Proof is in the pudding, as they say, so why don't we get it served up and see how much of a spoonful he can do. Good stuff from Joe Cullen.
170.
Oh, there's the wife of George Noble, the referee. That's Amanda.
More points on the floor for Joe. There's been a few of those. Sorry for Jamie. There's been a few of those tonight.
We've had some great deflections this week. That Justin Pipe one yesterday was the best one I've ever seen.
90 away here.
70.
So Joe looking good to get his nose back in front here. 4 of his last 5 defeats in Europe have been by a 6-5 scoreline. It was something we touched upon before. He does tend to get embroiled in a
60.
11 darts or an 11 leg tussle.
Just likes to make it interesting. Double top for a 3-2 lead.
Ensures
Yeah,
a
That is
52.
clinical.
Very good indeed. Best runs coming in Sindelfingen and Hamburg, where he made the last 8. In Hamburg, he beat former Euro Tour champions Justin Pipe and Vincent van der Voort before losing to another in the shape of Michael Smith. In that win over van der Voort, by the way, van der Voort averaged 103, so Joe really had to work hard in that one.
40.
And van der Voort hit 5 180s as well. It was a brilliant display, but Joe had more than enough about him.
93.
And as we've just seen, averages sometimes count for very little. Peter Wright with an average of 97, over 12 points higher than Kim Viljonen, but Viljonen it was who won by 6 legs to 5.
I was told many years ago, Rob,
58.
by a great dart player by the name of Graham Stoddart, that averages lie.
Well, they do. On occasion.
91.
I mean, at times, at best, they illustrate a point, but they can be very, very deceptive. Legs on the board.
58.
That's the most important statistic here. Cullen threatening again.
100.
Fourth 180 of the match. Joe Cullen ticking over very nicely now.
Will he go?
37.
Treble 19. No, he won't. That leaves 77. That leaves 32. Ooh, that was
121.
close. A lot of people these days on 137 go for treble 19 to potentially go tops, or treble 16 and double. That was a very conventional way to go.
77.
And he nearly got it.
16.
For a 2-leg lead. Joe Cullen will have to do a bit of wizardry here.
No score.
Well, Jamie's not on a finish here. So no particular damage done at this moment in time, but Jamie Lewis can make inroads here. Can't he just? 48 away.
136.
Well, he almost hit 168 there.
He almost busted his score then. He was perilously close to doing so. That's not in the end, but
7 leg Joe to throw first.
a bit too close for comfort, I think, there, Jamie Lewis.
Just to re-emphasise that in steel-tip darts, you have to finish on a double. In soft-tip darts,
93.
if he'd have hit the treble 16, he would have won the leg.
That'd have been scant consolation there, wouldn't it, really? Jamie, by the way, if you'd been playing soft tip, you'd have won that one. That would have gone down like
I don't think
a
there's a
cup
lot of
cold
soft tip.
sequel.
There's not a lot of soft tip in West Wales. It's all steel tip over there.
There's nothing soft in Wales.
45.
Well, just look at the plethora of darting talent in world darts right now from Wales. Webster, Price, Burnett, Clayton. They're just everywhere right now. Let's not forget about other players around the world like Martin Phillips,
42.
who is still making finals. Said yesterday that
140.
even the Austrians wanted to be a little bit Irish. There were some Irish people in the crowd, but everybody loves the Welsh.
It's funny, actually. I was just having a bit of a walk around the block during the interval between the afternoon and the evening session. I think we must have a really cosmopolitan lineup in the crowd as well. 'Cause I just noticed some of the car number plates in the car park, and there were cars from Austria, of course, Hungary, Italy, Poland, Bulgaria, Serbia. Austria is surrounded by a lot of countries. Bosnia as well, there was one.
Well, why not? No reason why we shouldn't go to Eastern Europe. It's a hotbed of darting
96.
talent now.
So you've
They've got their own
got
qualifier.
43.
Double 16.
Are you sure
There it
there's
is.
7 legs?
Yeah, he's cruising nicely, Joe Cullen.
To throw first. Game on.
That's very tidy, stats-wise, for Joe
96.
Cullen. It's the kind of game that he's been easily pulling out of his pocket this season. 97 average. That first
100.
9, I'm not sure he'll be happy with that because he's been doing a lot around the 115 mark in the past few months. But 5 180s, he'll be happy with that.
He will be absolutely thrilled to bits. That will do
100.
very nicely indeed. It looks as though it will be Joe Cullen to face Kim Huybrechts in the third round tomorrow here in Austria, but
140.
it's not like Jamie Lewis off just yet, but the signs are very positive for the number 10 seed. Averaging 97 and a bit at the moment. 5 180s, 5 from 12 on his doubles as well.
140.
Well, I mentioned someone earlier in the game, Rob. A little bit of darting trivia for you and the people at home.
44.
Graham Stoddart
Yep.
from the northeast of England. Played in a few World Championships and made the quarterfinals of the World Grand Prix once. He's the only person to have ever played a lady at the World Championships.
123.
By the name of Gail King from the United States. Run,
Precarious.
Joe, run, go get it.
102.
Yeah,
Maybe recall
snatched it
42.
first.
Double 16 for Lewis.
Game shot and everything.
Finishing his exemplary in the last couple of legs.
White flag Joe to throw it
He
back.
isn't dead yet. Joe Cullen has to get over that line. And it's Jamie Lewis's responsibility to chase him.
83.
Well, 83 for Cullen, just giving Lewis some encouragement here.
It's good standard, that. Take
Yeah.
those 18s out.
Well, everything's inside 6
60.
visits anyway, so
That's amazing darts.
even if you keep the 18s in.
140.
Do you want to know Joe Cullen's thesis about not practicing doubles?
Has he published this?
Not yet. But apparently, he feels that if he practices doubles and was missing them in practice, it'll
80.
affect his mindset. So that if he just goes for 60s all the time, when he just goes for the doubles, he doesn't have any scar tissue.
Yeah.
128.
Yeah,
As someone who-
I can see the psychological logic in that. if you-
I can too. It's not my way of thinking. But whatever works for him. Oh, he's got 60 on the floor.
Once again,
You recall
the curse
150.
striking Jamie Lewis.
Sometimes you think when that happens, it's just not going to be my day.
71 remaining. Well, that's absolutely
180.
perfect. Double 16 remaining now for Joe Cullen. And Jamie Lewis is all at sea here. And then once again, he's struggling
60.
to find the
You
trebles.
recall 32.
80 followed by an 80. And Joe Cullen now looking at double eights
Game
for a
shot.
place in the last 16.
Cullen.
And the number 10 seed from West Yorkshire.